Today we're bringing you on a full review of the newest hotel in Aruba, the JOIA Aruba by Iberostar. We've actually been to Aruba over 3 times in the past year and absolutely love this island. Out of all the hotels that we've stayed at, this one really stood out to us because the location is right on Eagle Beach was incredible. Not only are we covering everything you need to know about the JOIA, but we're also going to be sharing the best thing to do near Eagle Beach and Palm Beach, plus what we think is the best day trip you can take while you're here. So if you're planning an Aruba getaway, you're definitely gonna wanna stick around till the end. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Steven. I get to do this with my wife, Giselle, and we are also known as the Lover's Passport. We are gonna be posting a new bucket list adventure every single week of the year. So if you guys love to travel and want to see more of this beautiful world we live in, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Now with that, let's go ahead and jump into the video.
Welcome in to our beautiful ocean view room here at the JOIA Aruba by Iberostar. So come on in. So this is an ocean view suite. It's really beautiful, super modern, and very reminiscent of some of their other properties. We've stayed in a ton of other Iberostars around the world, and this is one of the newest ones that opened up in January of 2025. So here's our little bathroom. We have our shower and our toilet separated. And honestly, one thing that I appreciate that a lot of hotels ignore is that they have frosted glass so you can't see into there. So that's great. Giant sink in the middle, super nice big space for a couple. Might be a little crowded for a family, but for a couple, great. This is our little foyer, little living room area. This is where they're gonna have a bag of towels for you and some sandals. They also gave us some complimentary champagne, some macaroons when we got in here, which is super sweet. And then we have this whole little area for our luggage. We have a safety deposit box, an iron, we got robes, we got a little coffee and cocktail bar area, and then of course they have refillable water bottles. The great thing about staying at Iberostar is they're super into sustainability, so you're not gonna find a lot of plastics around their properties. They always give you some sort of way to refill water. So this is our bedroom. It's beautiful because we have it facing directly on the 3 pools outside, so that is a nice thing about getting a pool view room. Stunning views, and then off to our right is the famous Eagle Beach. And this is our beautiful balcony. Out here we have a full jacuzzi tub, which I know I'm gonna be using pretty often. And then we have a nice little lounger to the side where we can sit out here and relax. And of course, like I said, we have a really beautiful view. We're very excited to stay here. The first impressions of the property are very good. This week in Aruba, it's looking to be pretty windy, but should still be pretty sunny. So hoping to have a great week and take you along for the full review of this beautiful hotel. Good morning. It's our first official day here in Aruba. We got breakfast this morning at Bucatini, which is where they do the breakfast buffet, which was honestly really good. Every Iberostar that we've gone to has had a really great breakfast buffet. We also just got some coffee, some fresh squeezed orange juice. And if you don't know, I actually judge hotels pretty hard on the quality of their orange juice. And this one was a solid like 8 out of 10, so very good. And if you don't want to do the breakfast buffet, you can also pop by the Star Cafe up here, which is on the first level, and get a casual bite to go or snack on if you have like a quick excursion and don't have the time to sit down in the morning. I just got myself an iced vanilla latte from the Star Cafe, but I love that they have the no plastics everywhere. I think that is such a great thing for a hotel. We are now here at the main infinity pool. There's a couple of different pools here on property. One is specifically for the Star Prestige members, so those that have status here with IHG. And then the other 2 are these beautiful other pools. This one here is an infinity pool right in the center overlooking Eagle Beach. So it's super stunning. There's some chairs in the water, so if you get too hot, you can sit in there and relax. And then there's lots of these little loungers with some shade. Lots of good options to just lay out and enjoy the beautiful weather here in Aruba. But it's nice, it's all just like first come, first serve seating. You don't have to pay anything extra for these kinds of chairs. And yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome to Maria. This is one of the food spots that you can go to on property, and it's perfect because it's literally right across the street from Eagle Beach. And we're gonna grab some lunch, walk over to check out what it's like in the background, and they have a ton of amazing food here. It's all sustainably sourced, which we absolutely love, and that's kind of the whole deal with Iberostar. That's why we love staying at their properties, is they do an amazing job standing out and being on the forefront of sustainability and trying to, you're not going to see any plastics on the property. All of their food is sourced locally. One other thing to note is if when you are visiting Aruba, if you want to visit this spot for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you actually can, even if you're not staying on the property. Since right across the street from Eagle Beach, if you wanted a spot to grab lunch, you can always walk over here, grab lunch, and then go back to the beach.
We just got back from our snorkeling excursion. We went out with Red Sail and we did a little double snorkel tour. So we first snorkeled at Boca Catalina Beach, and then we went over and got to do the shipwreck snorkel, which is something new that we haven't done here before. I highly recommend it. It was a great tour. The guides were awesome, and it was a couple hours. So we got on the water around 2 o'clock and we ended around 5 o'clock. So about 3 hours of your day, but it was a really fun time. And the water over at Catalina Beach was stunning and warm. It's about 80 degrees. And then of course the shipwreck was about the same temperature. It was a little bit chillier, but the current was much stronger over there. So you'll want to be a strong swimmer if you want to get in the water and see the shipwreck, especially if it's a super windy day. But that wraps up that tour. We're about to go watch the sunset over on Eagle Beach, which is right across the street here from the property, and enjoy.
Today has been incredible. Started off with a gym. We honestly love the gym. It's fantastic at all of the Iberostar properties. After that, we grabbed breakfast before a full day of adventure. We love this location because since we're over here at Eagle Beach, it's really easy for us to hop on these scooters. So we just rented the Bird scooters and rode that about 20 minutes down the road, and we're able to go jet skiing today. If you've never gone jet skiing, this is the perfect spot to do it. The water is around 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is so warm, and it's so turquoise blue. It was just magical out there. That being said, it will get windy here, so just make sure you check the weather. Last time we went jet skiing out here, it was so bumpy. This time, much more tame. So that was really nice. The jet skis to rent was about an hour long. We took a 10-minute boat ride out. We were on the jet skis for around 30 minutes, and then it was about a 10 to 15-minute boat ride back. So overall, about an hour. It was $85 for a single, or $95 if you guys both are on a double. We ended up booking that through Delphi Water Sports, and it was nice. We literally just walked up to the stand and said, hey, can we rent a jet ski? And we were able to get that. You can also book it online ahead of time though, if you are a little bit more of a planner. We were feeling a little spontaneous today though. We grabbed a acai bowl at Eduardo's, which if you guys are in the area, whether you're doing a red sail adventure like what we did yesterday, or if you go jet skiing, anything over on Palm Beach, it's gonna be amazing. After that, we took our little scooters back and got a massage here at the Iberostar. The spa area is pretty nice. It has a sauna, it has a steam room, it has a nice cold pool, it has a freezing cold plunge pool and a jacuzzi, as well as some nice relaxing chairs. So overall, really nice area in the spa. We decided to get a couples massage, and honestly, out of all the Iberostar properties, that was probably my favorite massage that we've got from them. It's very relaxing. If you want to relax, we got the Swedish tissue massage. If you want something a little bit more intense, go for the deep tissue. We're gonna relax out here on our balcony for a little bit and then hope that we get a beautiful sunset. But I mean, that's why we love Aruba so much. We just got back to the room. It was a lovely evening. We went and saw a sunset down by the beach, as well as we just relaxed inside our little balcony hot tub. It's really nice because it can fit probably one, maybe two people if you're a little bit smaller. I'm a little large, so I couldn't fit inside of the hot tub with Giselle. But after sunset, we went to the Italian restaurant called Bucatini. And let me tell you, this spot is great. I got the pizza. You could tell that it was fire roasted. It was a prosciutto pizza. G got the rigatoni alla vodka, which was also very good. Service was phenomenal. It's pretty dead here right now because it's a Wednesday night and it just opened up, but really, really good experience so far. So today we are going on a full adventure. Because of where the Iberostar is placed, it's so easy to check out Eagle Beach and Palm Beach, but today we're getting off the beaten path a little bit and going to the other side of the island. We're gonna be taking you over to Gold Mine, which is an area of Aruba which we have not visited yet. There's a lot of history that happened at the gold mine when the Dutch came here to Aruba in the very beginning when everything was happening. So it was really cool to be able to pass by there. I will say that it does get extremely busy here. One thing we did notice on Saturday especially is that the property was really busy, that all of the places that we went were also extremely busy. So just keep that in mind if you guys booked a tour, if you're going out and exploring, if you're renting a car, you wanna make sure that you get to places earlier, or we actually met up with some locals in the area and they were showing us around. One thing that they said is most of the tours go out between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Anything after 1 p.m., you should have it a little bit more tame, have a lot more freedom. After we checked out Gold Mine, we ended up going and jumping inside of some natural pools, which was really cool. The water here is so beautiful. Very similar to another spot inside of Aruba National Park. It has this beautiful heart-shaped pool that you can go swimming in. This one was similar, but a little bit more secluded. One thing to keep in mind when you are visiting is on this side of the island where Eagle Beach is and Palm Beach is, you can actually go and swim in the water pretty easily. The waves aren't too bad. It is a little windy, but not terrible. On the other side of the island, it is only advised to go swimming if you are an expert or if you know where you are going. Just because that side of the island is where all of the wind hits, the waves are gigantic. The cliffs are a little bit more rocky. The current is extremely strong. So just keep that in mind. We didn't get to go into the water too deep, but we did go and relax. It was a nice spot to cool off. The last spot we went was one food place that's only open on Saturdays. It's called the Lionfish Shack. Lionfish are invasive here in Aruba, and when you go out scuba diving or snorkeling, you might see them if you go down deep enough. The lionfish has no predator in the ocean because they have these super poisonous barbs, so they become a problem here where they multiply really fast. So you'll see the locals make lionfish jewelry. They catch lionfish every single time they go out, and this spot actually cooks them up and makes them into a wrap or some fish and chips, and it was honestly really, really good. We met the owner. It was super local, and they are cash only. So if you want a little local cuisine in Aruba, we would definitely recommend checking that out. But this was our day getting off the beaten path, but you will have to rent a car through the concierge if you want to go and get off the beaten path a little bit more. Or you can book a tour. The one that we did was very similar to this ATV tour. I'll put it right over here in case you want to scan the QR code and you don't want to have to book a car and deal with the hassle of everything, because you will be going off-roading to get to any of these locations. So final thoughts on the JOIA Aruba. Personally, we thought it was a beautiful hotel. For us as content creators, it was so much fun to be able to take photos and videos of the property because, like I said, it's just a beautiful area and it's right on Eagle Beach. So we could be up in our room, look outside, within 2 minutes, walk across the street to the second best beach in the entire world, which is really cool. So location, 10 out of 10. I will say that the food service was a little bit slow. The food itself was obviously very, very good. It was delicious. It had a nice mix of it between the different restaurants, and they're opening new ones. And that will take me to the next point, is that you can tell this is a new hotel right now. We loved our stay there, but there was a lot of the pieces of the hotel that were still being fixed. It was extremely windy the whole time you're there. We honestly did not relax on the loungers too much because it was super windy, maybe for a little bit during the morning and the evening before the wind really picked up. But that is one thing you always want to remember when you are visiting Aruba. But I do think that they're going to be adding an additional restaurant. So there should be 4 total on the property between the chef's kitchen table, which they had it coming soon. The two that we visited, the rooftop bar and the lobby. So they do have a lot of different options that you can eat from. The last thing I will say is because it is a new property, there was not a ton of activities to do like on a lot of the other Iberostar properties that we've done. Similar to the one in Mexico, there was so many different things to do. Here, there was only a couple classes. There was like one yoga class every other day and one aquafit class. But typically these Iberostar properties have a ton more activities to do. So it'll be very interesting to see what they adjust as the property continues to grow. We will definitely be going back to Aruba in the next year, and we'll have to check out this property because even if you aren't staying there, you do have the opportunity to go and grab breakfast, lunch, or dinner there and enjoy the beautiful area.
That is it for our full JOIA by Iberostar review. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out our full Aruba guide, which you can find up here as well as down below in the description. And with that, we'll see you back next week with another bucket list adventure.